All right, so after looking at the film, you can see some good things. You can see some bad things as well. It's not always as bad as it seems on game day when things don't go well. I'm not saying that everything is hunky dory or anything like that, but there were some good things that occurred. I still think this team is a good football team, got good talent, and we're not as good as we're going to be at this point, but we're going to still work to improve and get better because we got the regular season right around the corner. It's getting ready to start. So we're going to spend these next 2 days in a training camp type mode and try to improve as best we can, even though we have a short week and we have to travel and there are a lot of distractions going on this week. But you got to be able to do that in the NFL. We have short weeks during the course of the season, so this will be a good test and good practice for us going forward. But the mistakes are correctable mistakes, and we're going to work to try to get them corrected. On the roster, we're down to 75 because we released 14 guys yesterday. And that's always tough because many of those guys are the young rookies who their dream is to try to make it in the NFL, and basically with the team they started with, they don't make it. But I think that even though they don't like it, they understand that it's part of the business, that you have to go through it. So, but we got the roster down to 75, and then on Friday we have to get it down to 53. So this is going to happen quick, and that's one of the distractions that the players have to deal with this week. The realization that the cuts occurred yesterday, and then the realization that there will be more cuts on Friday. So that's one of the distractions that we have to deal with, but it's part of it, and so we have to do that. With the injury situation, Toribio and his ankle, we got 2 guys with ankles, Toribio and Bailey, and they're both have the weight. We're taking the weight off of them and going to rest it and begin to strengthen it and try to get those guys back as soon as possible. 2 guys with groins. We got Jaleel Brown with a groin and Copper with a groin. And we're going to rest those and try to get them back as soon as possible also. Flowers is still working on his foot. Kendrick is still working on his shoulder. But Kendrick is beginning to do strengthening motions and things like that, so he's coming on a little bit. Kevin Boss is not going to be here today for personal reasons, so he will not be out there. Cyrus Gray and Menzie, they're going to try to get a little bit done today, so they'll be out there in a limited form and fashion, and we'll see what they can do, but they'll have pads on and they'll try to do some things. And we're going to keep an eye on our big 3 with the knees. Just check their reps and not overdo it with those guys. But they will be out there and they're going to be working today. Now on the quarterback situation, I told you I would let you know something today, which I will, but just not right now because I didn't have the opportunity to talk to the players. I was tied up with these cuts yesterday, and then we got in here this morning and went right to the team meeting, and so I haven't talked to those guys individually yet, and I want to talk to them before I let it be known publicly, what I'm going to do. Now I should be able to talk to you after practice. I'll let you know after practice, and then you can talk to the players at that time. But like I said, I'm still doing it today, but just not right now because I haven't talked to the players. And so we're going to try to get something done these next 2 days, and then Wednesday is a travel day, and we play on Thursday. All right, with that, I'll open it up.
How confident are you with really now a patchwork secondary? You're down to now your 3rd left corner and your 2nd safety, although you said, well, Lewis won't play this week anyway. But
no.
So just, can you talk about Reeves and Elam and this isn't...
Well, when you throw all those people in there, they've all been in training camp, and they have been learning the system and know the system, And the nature of the business in the NFL is that the next guy has to be ready to step up. Now, we all understand that the next guy is the next guy, and he's not the first guy. And so chances are that all the abilities that the first guy has, the next guy doesn't have. So we're going to go ahead and we'll line up and we'll play with those guys. And I think that those guys will give a good effort.
A guy who misses over 2 years, 2+ years, and to play that type of position, a corner, just how much ground does Reeves have to make up? Just what are you seeing in him?
Well, I've seen that he's been making plays, on the ball in his coverage and one-on-one coverage particularly, and he's shown up during the course of camp. Now, he's not perfect, but neither are any of the guys we have right now. But he's competitive, and he can make some plays.
And Elam, what has he shown you?
Well, he's an experienced guy, and at the safety spot, he's shown that he can handle the back end, that he can also make plays. He's intercepted one this year, and he went for another one, the other night that he misjudged. But I think that he's a competent safety, and he'll do a good job for us.
One more thing on that. What happened with Barry and Brown on the touchdown to Winslow the other night? Was that blown cover? Did Brown think Barry was coming, or what happened?
That was a blown coverage. Yeah.
Just to make sure I understood what you said, no Flowers today at practice?
Nope.
Did the nature of the way the game went the other day, without revealing the quarterback part of it, affect how much the first teamers and people are going to play in the final preseason game when maybe they wouldn't have ordinarily? This will be the 4th week, and I tell them the same thing every week, to be ready to play, and I'll take them out, when I take them out. I think that in this last game, though, what you want to see is you want to see some efficiency, and so if they can show some efficiency, then I might feel good enough to take them out early. If they cannot show efficiency, then they might have to stay longer.
You kept your 4th quarterback for at least this next week.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you need a 4th guy this week?
Well, we kind of like the guy a little bit, so that's why we keep him. If we didn't like him and we didn't think he had ability, we'd let him go. But he's an unproven guy, but we like some things about him, and he's still trying to learn the system, and there might be an opportunity for him, this game.
So as far as this week, you're kind of working on yourself more than you are on Green Bay or Atlanta?
Yes. That's kind of my nature. I think that you have to get yourself fixed before you can try to attack anybody else. You have to know what you're good at and what you can do, and try to correct the mistakes that we made. And then if we can get those corrected, then we might be able to work on somebody else.
What's your plan at quarterback after Matt comes out? Are you going to play whoever your number 2 guy is most of the game, the rest of the way, or how do you plan to split those up?
Well, part of the way. I don't know if you'll go the rest of the way or not. That's going to depend on how long Matt goes and the situation in the game.
A couple more guys.
You're going to do some things to try to win the game, or when you say the situation in the game?
Well, it depends on how we're playing. That's what that depends on.
Good.
Roman, does the preseason feel like the roller coaster that it looks like from the outside? You played so well against Arizona in these last 2 games, especially against Seattle.
Well, to a degree it does, because as I look at it, what I want to see is I want to see perfection all the time, and I want to see us win all the time. But even though we've lost, there have been some good things that have happened. For instance, a 17-play drive for a score. That's good. Defensively, even though we didn't look great, we held them to field goals on 3 different occasions, back-to-back occasions. And when you hold teams to field goals, you have a chance in the game.
it wasn't until we started giving up touchdowns that, you started feeling worse. But so there were some good things that occurred. But overall, the final outcome and the overall thing, you're not crazy about it. But there has been a little bit of roller coaster for me as I look at it, because I know that we have some talent. I know that I feel like that this team can be a good team, and I want this team to show that.
How's Don Tari progressing to your liking?
He's making progress, but he's still that rookie that reverts back to what he knows at times, and he forgets to remember how we want to do it. And I know there was one play in the game, he was in good position on the blocker, and then he ended up jumping off the block, thought that he could make the play, and that opened up a hole. So, you got to point those things out to him and get him to correct it. And he's a conscientious student, and so I think that that he will get it corrected.
Assuming Toribio doesn't go Thursday, will Don Terry get a look with the base, or is POWE going to get a look, start with the base?
Probably Don Terry might get a chance to start, because it's Green Bay, and what they represent is Titletown, and they're the Packers, and to play in that environment, I think will be a good experience for anybody, but particularly for a rookie.
Last one, Bob.
Just to clarify, you're talking about the 3 guys with the knees. I assume you're talking about the ACL guys, or are you talking about Dorsey?
No. I'm talking about Barry, Moyaki, and Charles.
What about Dorsey?
He got banged on the knee, and he says he's okay. I saw him this morning.
And Corey Greenwood, will he be back?
Yeah, he's going to be out there, and he's going to try to do a little something, but I think he'll be limited.
All right, thank you.